For my final Makerspace project, I did Tapigami. I went a little bit different than everybody else. Everybody seemed to be doing like engineering and technology-driven makerspaces, and I decided to do something that's a little bit easier, or at least I thought it would be easier in my opinion. But it's lower cost and hopefully wouldn't be as complex. I'm not very good with science type of things, so I thought this was the safest route for me to go. Tapigami is pretty much what it sounds like. It requires nothing but tape. These are all the different types of tape that I use for my project. This is masking tape, and as you can see, they're all different colors. There's yellow, purple, green, teal, and black. It was kind of a crazy thing to figure out exactly what I was going to do and what type of masking tape I wanted to use. I needed to use some type of masking tape that you could see the color on the sticky side, because Tapigami is done where the sticky side is on the outside. So I had to go to Hobby Lobby and I got this duck masking tape right here, and I actually ripped open the package and had to figure out if the color went to the other side, because with duct tape it's only adhesive on the other side and it's not a different color. So I found that duck masking tape. It was awesome. And so this is my final Makerspace project. I did a bouquet of flowers and a vase completely out of masking tape. There's nothing in there but tape. The vase was kind of a last minute decision. When I first made it, it looked really, really stupid. It was just this big blob of black masking tape, and then I decided to layer it with the teal to give it some sort of a design. I don't know if you can see that very well, but that is my attempt at creativity. I'm not a very creative person, so this was kind of out of the box for me. The flowers are also all done out of masking tape. The stems are green masking tape. Obviously the petals are purple and yellow. The purple and yellow, that is not the sticky side on the outside. That's the actual tape color. So this is my final project. It was easier and harder than I expected at the same time. I don't know if that's possible, but it was. I thought it was going to be really easy, and then once I got into it, it ended up being a little bit harder than I actually expected. The tape that I have is super, super, super sticky. That was kind of a problem because it was so sticky that I couldn't stick the project together unless I was totally ready for it to be stuck together, because it was sticking to each other and it was ripping the other pieces apart. So these flowers have been made and remade and remade and remade because they have stuck together, ripped each other apart, and it's been a very vicious cycle of tape. If I could do this differently, I would probably do a different tape. I really like this tape because the colors are really vibrant and it did stick together really well, but it stuck together so well that it made it almost frustrating when I was making it. So I'd probably maybe use a different tape. I also would probably do a bigger project than flowers, because in case you can't tell, those are a lot of little tiny itty bitty pieces stuck together, and it was very hard to work with pieces that were that small. So I would probably have done a bigger scale project, but this wasn't a bad one to start out with. My thoughts on my first tinkering project: it was good. It was really good. It was a good experience. It took a lot more time than I thought it would. It probably took me a total of maybe like 5 to 6 hours, I think, to do all of this. But I'm also a really big perfectionist, so that probably didn't help my situation. But if you are looking for a really low-cost makerspace project, I would highly suggest doing Tapigami. I think each roll of that tape was $4.99 or $3.99 from Hobby Lobby. And it wasn't overall too hard to do. You could do a lot of things with this. I was thinking, because I'm an English teacher, that I could take this project and have kids do an assignment over like a symbol from a book or a story that we've done, or a neighborhood that was described in their stories, and they could make those neighborhoods or make that symbol, if it's a flower or a bird or something, out of tape. And that's how I could utilize it in my English classroom. that would be a great idea for a lot of other classes. Some resources I might want to consider next time. I would definitely probably sway to a different type of tape. I was researching Tapigami, and you can use any type of tape that you want, except most common is masking tape. And I had no problem with masking tape. It was just that this masking tape is so good that it was hard to deal with. So maybe a cheaper masking tape that isn't quite as sticky as this, but if you ever need really good masking tape, get duck masking tape, because that stuff is legit. But I would definitely probably do a different type of tape just to make it easier. How would I make this project available to others? I was looking up on different Tapigami websites, and a lot of them suggest that you can do Tapigami for gifts for family. If I was doing this in my classroom, I would definitely display them in my classroom. I would display it in the library for sure. But you could do, like on a Maker Day, you can obviously display it there. There are a lot of different options that you can do with this. You can make tons of different things. You can display it tons of different ways. And I think it's a really good project to start out with for a makerspace. That's all I have. So, one more look at my final project. I'm sorry that it's not as high-tech as everybody else is, but this is pretty high-tech for me, which is really sad. But I would highly suggest this, especially if you have younger students and you are looking to do a pretty easy first project. This is something I would definitely suggest.